All right, guys, we got a brand new update to the Haley Welch Hawk Tuah girl drama. So she finally broke her silence. She did it in a long form 40-minute podcast with another influencer named FaZe Banks, who I guess was a former member of FaZe Clan. I don't know much about them, but I'm assuming with the name FaZe, he's got to be affiliated with that group. And so here's the screenshot that I got right here. The Hawk Tuah girl posted a new podcast episode on her Talk Tuah with Haley Welch podcast. And remember, she hasn't posted in like 3 months because she was so afraid of the backlash, the lawsuits, all that stuff from the crypto scam that she did a few months ago. And so basically, she posted a podcast episode called The Actual Truth with FaZe Banks, Talk Tuah episode 14, and then she immediately deleted it. But as we all know, once it's on the internet, it's there forever. People have already re-uploaded the episode all over Twitter, and I went ahead and watched it, and I wanted to give my thoughts on the entire thing. By the way, she cried, which I thought was very interesting, but yeah, she cried. So we're going to go ahead and play that portion of it. In her conversation with FaZe Banks, at the very beginning too, like the first 2 minutes of the podcast, you know, she's just kind of talking about how rough it's been for her and all the backlash that she's gotten for basically promoting a crypto scam and rugging people, her own fans. And yeah, she cried. Let's go ahead and take a listen to that.
I want to start by saying thank you to all my true fans and all the people that actually watch my stuff and they keep up with me. We're trying to sort out all the pieces and stuff to get all this figured out and make everything right. Oh my God, I'm going to cry.
No, don't cry. Don't cry. Don't cry. Everything's going to be good. We're going to be good. And guys, listen, just as a temperature check, I just want to say, the first thing that she said to me off camera was, the minute you DM me, I really wish I just texted you and called you. And that speaks to me because of how I was introduced to crypto, and we'll get into that. But I'm also kind of on the back end of things too. Their team's been very forthcoming. My team is vetting them the fuck out right now and has been for the last week. Thread Guy and Frank, they're going to be on this episode. It's such a weird blend and mash of worlds. No,
it rolled out.
Don't cry, Haley. It's fine. It's all going to be okay. Life is going to be okay. Oh, Haley, no.
Oh, don't do that.
No,
don't stare at me.
No.
So basically, he's just sitting there talking, running his mouth about nothing. And the Haley Welch girl is just sitting there crying for the last 60 seconds that he's just blabbering about nothing. And what I find interesting about that, number one, don't feel bad for her at all. You crying, save your tears, lady. You knew what you were doing. I'm not falling for this act that, oh, I'm a victim. That's what she's doing. She's trying to present herself. And I think that's part of this podcast episode too. Let me go on here. Let me act like the dumb girl. Let me cry. I didn't know anything. I'm a victim. No. Even though you're dumb and you know nothing about crypto, we can all agree to that. You knew that you were taking money. $125,000 is what she got paid. You knew that you were taking money from an organization or group of people that you did not know, that were telling you about something that you knew nothing about, not giving you full transparency, and you did not care to even look into it or hire somebody to look into it, because $125,000 is a lot of money to a brand new influencer who got famous off a stupid meme. Got famous off 2 words. You said Hawk Tuah, you blew up. Again, it's really hard for people like her to make money. And the reason why is because the only thing she's really got at this very beginning of her stage of her career is she doesn't exactly have an OnlyFans, but she has something similar to that. It's something where you can talk to her and get pictures. I posted it in one of my other videos about her. I think she charged $9 a month or whatever for that. Besides that, in merch, it's really all you really got here. So when it's so easy to make $125,000 and all you got to do is just promote this coin that you know nothing about and call it your own coin, lot of influencers like her are going to take it, and I think she deserves full accountability. I don't feel bad for her one bit. Let me go to another.
And then
let me go to another thing that was actually said in the podcast. By the way, you can actually go to this channel right here. You can type in, there's a small channel called Silencer, 20 subscribers. The title is The Actual Hawk Tuah Truth with FaZe Banks. And this actually has the full uploaded podcast episode. But let's go ahead and take a listen to some of it.
This is Frank Degots.
Hey, Haley.
Frank Degonts.
That's it, yeah.
In the merch too.
Yeah, I got the merch on.
I love it.
To shout out.
These are 2 of 10 of my little
That come to us. He was a friend of. I don't want to do that.
he's off camera, but do you want to introduce?
I have my lawyer. I don't want to do that. I don't know anything about it, and I've never heard the space is a good place to be. So I was like,
Oh, yeah, that's the other interesting thing about this podcast, too. She actually brought her lawyer on there. Yeah, she did that. Her lawyer was on here, and her lawyer mostly spoke most of the time when they talked. Now, in this part of the video right here, she actually explains, like, what happened that night when she went on that infamous Twitter Spaces, and CoffeeZilla was there, and he confronted all of them, and her 2 little devs or partners or whatever behind that stupid meme coin were just stupid and didn't know how to defend themselves or what to do, and CoffeeZilla just completely owned them. And yeah, here's what she had to say about that.
In executing something like this, fair to say?
yes.
Which is usually the case.
Yeah, that's 99% of the time. What happened after that?
Well, really, everything went good, and then I noticed, like, the day of the launch, he was, like, a little weird about it, like, he was pacing around on the porch, and I don't know, it just makes you suspicious. And then we finished a podcast that day, and then I ended up going in that room over there to get on that live, where I was, like, scripted to say this, that, and the other, but put it in my own words. So I done that, and then that's when you got on, and you were asking him questions, and he couldn't answer them. So I was like, okay, something's wrong. He can't answer a simple question. And then CoffeeZilla got on there. Scary guy, let me tell you. Don't ever want to have a conversation with him.
We're a little more charitable than Coffee. I think Coffee kind of has a little bit of
Reason why she doesn't want to have a conversation with CoffeeZilla is because CoffeeZilla doesn't play any games and doesn't do the BS and all the friendly buddy, I want to be your friend. Because obviously FaZe Banks, this was such a softball interview. It's like he obviously wants to establish a relationship with her so he can do business with her in the future. There's no doubt about it. That's how these guys are. So he's coming at her from that nice perspective, like, hey, let me come up here, help you talk about the situation. And after that, now we have a relationship. Now I got your phone number, your contact. In the future, when all this dies down, I can use you. That's how people like that think. CoffeeZilla's like, I'm not interested in being your friend. I'm not here for a podcast episode to get clout or get views, or I don't care about any of that. I'm just here to ask you the straight up questions. So because there would be no BS with CoffeeZilla, that's why she's afraid, because he would ask a bunch of questions where she wouldn't be able to answer, neither would her team. And you would just pretty much be exposed for the scammers you all are, which is what you are. You all launched a stupid meme coin, and it got rugged, and Haley's trying to claim that it's not her fault. She didn't know any better. She didn't do it, but you got paid. So you got paid, and the thing rugged, and you are accountable for it. It's that simple.
a disdain for crypto in general. Us, on the other hand, we live and breathe it every day. We want to see crypto succeed. We do it every single day. But Coffee definitely, like, you know what I mean?
All right, we can move on for that. Let's go to another section of the video. Here we go.
Did they offer you money up front? This is what I think the internet always wants to know is, like, did they offer you money up front, part of the tokens? Like, how did that work? Like,
so the deal, I can speak to that. So
this is our lawyer talking, by the way. So a lot of the interview, the important stuff, her lawyer spoke to, she couldn't even speak to, which very interesting.
the deal that she did was like a brand image likeness deal where they paid her $125,000 up front. They were supposed to pay.
And it's actually sad that she's so dumb. They're just asking her, like, what was the deal? Like, what'd you get paid? She can't even articulate that. The lawyer has to tell them, like, hey, she got paid this and this, that. Girl, you don't know what you signed? You don't know what you got yourself into? You don't know how much you got paid? Like, this is crazy how dumb she is.
at work? Like,
So the deal, I can speak to that. So the deal that she did was like a brand image likeness deal where they paid her $125,000 up front. They were supposed to pay her $200,000 after the launch of the coin within 30 days. she was supposed to have full transparency to tokenomics and everything going on, which they did stay in communication about it, but it just was an ever evolving game plan essentially. So back end participation was to always be mutually agreed, and what they had agreed on in the tokenomics was there was a 10% allocation of the token that would be on a 1-year lock and then a 3-year drip after that. Of that 10%, half of that was supposed to go to the company that created the project and half was to go to her. So out of 100% of the token, she would have had 5% at the end. Obviously, she
All right, so she got 5% of the tokens that were locked up. She got paid $125,000 up front. Simple.
has lawyer, manager, business manager, so even that 5% would have been cut down by over a quarter due to people that she has to pay out on her non-crypto.
So all the structure you just described, what happened to all that?
It's not like it has dissolved. That on launch, 3% of the token was made available for public trading. A lot of this information we found out since the launch. We, as in,
3% of the token was made for people to trade. 80% was owned by the devs, and she owned 5%. Crazy. Anyway, folks, you're free to go and watch this entire interview if you want. Like I said, she deleted it. By the way, she actually had a sponsor in this video too, which is hilarious. So typically sponsors don't like it when you post a video and then you delete it because, like, yeah, I don't know. But anyway, that's today's video. Thanks so much for being here. Let me know what you think in the comments. See you in the next one.